Why does it feel like the woman you care about has suddenly become a stranger? Like the warmth in her eyes has dimmed, her texts have grown short, and her attention seems to drift everywhere except toward you. If you're watching this, you're probably experiencing that gut-wrenching realization that she doesn't value you the way she used to. Maybe she's pulling away, maybe she's giving you mixed signals, or maybe she's just different, cold, distant. Here's what most men do wrong in this situation. They panic, they chase, they try harder, they shower her with more attention, more gifts, more words, thinking that somehow they can force her to see their worth again. But here's the brutal truth. The harder you chase someone who's pulling away, the faster they run. Think about it. When someone doesn't value what they have, what happens when you make it even more available? They value it less. When something is always there, always accessible, always guaranteed, human nature takes it for granted. This isn't cruel or manipulative, it's just how our brains work. So what do you do when she doesn't value you anymore? You do the exact opposite of what every desperate instinct in your body is telling you to do. You step back, you create space, you become scarce. But this isn't about playing games or manipulating her emotions. This is about rediscovering your own worth and reminding both of you who you really are. When a woman stops valuing you, it's often because you've stopped valuing yourself. Somewhere along the way, you made her the center of your universe while you became a satellite orbiting around her needs, her moods, her schedule. You became predictable, available, safe. Women are attracted to men who have their own lives, their own goals, their own sense of purpose. When you drop everything to accommodate her, when you're always free when she calls, when your happiness depends entirely on her approval, you're not being loving, you're being needy. And neediness, no matter how well-intentioned, kills attraction faster than almost anything else. So here's what you do immediately when you realize she doesn't value you anymore. First, you stop initiating contact. Not forever, but for now. Stop being the one who always texts first, who always calls, who always makes the plans. If she's pulling away, give her the space to miss you. This will feel uncomfortable. Every fiber of your being will want to reach out, to explain, to fix things. Don't. Sit with that discomfort. That anxiety you're feeling, that's what she's been feeling about your constant presence. That desperate need to connect, that's what you've been putting on her shoulders. Second, you redirect that energy back into your own life. Remember who you were before her. Remember the hobbies you had, the friends you spent time with, the goals you were pursuing. Go back to those things, not as a strategy to win her back, but because you need to remember that you exist independent of her validation. Start working out again. Pick up that guitar, call your friends, focus on your career, pursue that hobby you abandoned, become interesting again, not just interested in her. Third, when you do interact with her, be pleasant but not eager. Be kind but not desperate. If she reaches out, respond, but don't jump at the first notification. If she wants to hang out, consider your schedule first. Have other things going on. Have a life that she's invited into, not one that revolves around her. This isn't about being cold or playing hard to get. This is about being a whole person with your own value, your own interests, and your own life. This is about remembering that you were complete before her and you'll be complete after her if that's how things go. Here's what will likely happen when you create this space. At first, she might not notice. She might even seem relieved that you're not constantly pursuing her attention. This is normal. Don't panic. Don't interpret this as confirmation that she doesn't care. She's probably just enjoying the breathing room. But then, something interesting happens. When you're not always available, when you're not constantly seeking her approval, when you have your own life happening, you become mysterious again. You become valuable again, not because you're playing games, but because you're demonstrating that you have worth independent of her recognition. You see, when someone doesn't value you, it's often because they can't see your value through all the desperation and neediness. It's like trying to appreciate a beautiful painting when someone is constantly pointing at it, explaining why it's good, begging you to notice its beauty. The constant attention doesn't make the painting more beautiful, it makes it annoying. Step back from the painting, let people see it without your commentary, let your value speak for itself. But here's the crucial part, you have to mean it. You can't just pretend to have a life while secretly obsessing over her responses. You can't fake being busy while actually waiting by your phone. She'll sense the inauthenticity and it will push her away even further. You have to genuinely rebuild your sense of self-worth. You have to actually become invested in your own life again. This isn't a performance for her benefit. It's a return to who you really are. And here's what's beautiful about this approach. It works regardless of the outcome. If she starts valuing you again, great. You've created a healthier dynamic where both of you are choosing each other rather than one person chasing while the other runs. If she doesn't come back, you've still won because you've reclaimed your life, your confidence, and your sense of self-worth. Remember, you cannot convince someone to value you through words or actions or gifts. Value is recognized, not argued for. When you're valuable and you know you're valuable, others see it too. When you're desperate and needy and constantly seeking validation, that's what people see instead. So stop trying to prove your worth to someone who isn't seeing it. Start living in a way that makes your worth undeniable. Not just to her, but to yourself. The woman who doesn't value you might come back when you create space and rebuild your life. She might not, but either way, you'll be okay because you'll have remembered something crucial. Your worth isn't determined by whether one person recognizes it. Your value exists whether she sees it or not. And that realization, that deep knowing of your own worth, is more attractive than any desperate attempt to win someone back could ever be.